If you've never been to my YouTube channel, Best of Us Investors, I'd like to serve this as an introduction. We're a group of like-minded individuals, I like to call it a network, who are interested in making wealth on the stock market. My channel used to be about real estate, but on November the 11th of last month, I realized that my interests were more directed towards the stock market. And so that's what I want to talk to you about. I'm not going to talk to you about, as someone uses the words, the free money that the Fed and the Treasury are distributing, because, Kevin, there is no such thing as free money. There is always a consequence and a payback. I don't want to talk about, is the market going to go up or is it going to go down? That's a given, folks. It's going up. The market is going up. The question is, who's going to take it up and who's going to be the beneficiaries of it? The reality is that there's a lot of money being pumped into the stock market, into the economy right now. And the question is not, will this money come? It's coming. The question is instead, where is it going to end up? Is it going to end up in your pocket? Probably not, unless you're an astute investor. Is it going to end up at the grocery store, at your landlord? No, that's not where it's going to end up. What you need to do as an investor, if you want to be successful, is recognize that there is this huge influx of money. The United States is probably going to end up within the next 12 to 18 months pumping maybe $10 trillion into the economy. And the other governments around the world probably maybe even match that. That could be $20 trillion into the economy. The question is, where's it going to end up? So what my channel is going to do is help you and help me determine where is that 10 to 20 trillion dollars going to end up in the next 3 years, 2 years. Because once we determine that, we know that the market's going to go up. Who's going to end up with it? So to do that, what I want to do is make you aware, the 20,000 viewers who came to my channel in April, I want you to become aware of where that money's going and forget about what's going to happen in the next week in the market or the next month. But once this virus is gone, there's going to be 10 to 20 trillion dollars in the economy that's going to land somewhere. So the market's going to go up. We just need to know who's going to end up with the money. So let's look to history to give us some guidance. In the year 2000, our debt, our national debt, was $2 trillion. By 2008, it was $8 trillion. By 2020, it was $20 trillion. So $12 trillion came into the market, the economy, just from the United States. Where did it end up? Let me give you the names of some companies that ended up with the money and how much of it they ended up with. Let's see, how about Microsoft? Has a market capitalization of $1.3 trillion. How about Apple? They ended up with $1.2 trillion of that $10 trillion that we put into the market. Amazon has a market cap of $1.1 trillion. Here's a list of some more of the people who ended up with that $10 trillion, $12 trillion that our government pumped into the economy since 2008. So If in that, 12 years, they pumped in 12 trillion, and they're going to pump in another 10 trillion in the next 18 months, where's it going to end up? And that's the key to the stock market. Graham, the stock market's going up because this money's coming in. And that's only part of it. The governments of all over the world are pumping this money in. Are they going to pay it back? No. It's going to end up in our hands if we own the right companies. So our task is to figure out who are the right companies. Who's going to control this surge of market capitalization? Well, it's going to be the people who control technology. Because what's going to suck up that money is artificial intelligence, big data, 5G, 3D printing, and robotics. Those three are going to change the manufacturing world immensely. You aren't going to be buying products from third world countries anymore. Between 5G, 3D printing, and robotics, the manufacturing is going to come back here. So who's going to drive that? Who's going to connect the other 43% of the world that is not connected to the internet? What? 43% of the world does not have access to Amazon, to Google, to Apple. Who's going to connect them? That's where this $20 trillion is going to land. That's what you and I have to figure out. That's what best of U.S. investors has to figure out as a group. I can't do it by myself. What about virtual reality and augmented reality? What about the fact that I'll be able to walk into an art museum with a pair of glasses and ask the glasses, tell me about this Van Gogh painting? And the glasses will look at the painting and it'll tell me. What about when my son and I want to go skiing in Vail, and I'll put on a set of virtual reality goggles here in Birmingham and him in Atlanta? Who's going to make that possible for me? That's where this money's going to end up. And that's what you and I have to do. Now, why is that important that you and I come together and you become a part of this team? Because last month I had 20,000 visitors. One of those visitors or viewers and regular viewers is a guy by the name of Homer that lives in South Georgia. And Homer has been badgering me for roughly 2 months to take a look at Tesla. And I have told him, no, I don't want to look at Tesla because of its debt situation. He connected me to a daily podcast about Tesla. I'm now an owner of Tesla. A young gentleman from Sweden asked me, what should we do about these oil prices as Russia and Saudi Arabia were driving down the price of oil? And as a result of his commentary or asking me, I am now an owner of Valero. I learned the difference between the drillers and the shippers and the sellers. And I made a decision, and I shared that decision with those 20,000 viewers. And I hope that a number of you are owners of Valero, and you, like me, are up 30% in the last 15 days on that stock. This is what a community comes together. This is why Amazon is as strong as it is, as Google is as strong as it is. They have a network of people that have a common thought process, that have a common goal, and they feed off of each other. And that's what best of us investors is all about. We are a group of common people who have a common goal, and we feed off of each other. What is my goal? My goal is to get you to hit that. There's 20,000 of you, and only 3,000 of you have subscribed. So my goal is to get the other 17,000 of you to subscribe today. The next goal is to turn that 20,000 into 40, and that 40 into 80, and that 80 into 160, and progressively get up to 1 million subscribers. Once we have that kind of mind power, that kind of community researching and looking into the opportunities, we will be wealthy. So what I'm offering you today is an opportunity to become a part of a tribe. Go to, and please, wear your colors, share your knowledge, share your information, and we can be as strong as Google, as Amazon, as Apple, as a collective force. That's what best of us investors is all about. We're not about free money. We're not about whether the market's going to go up or down next week. It doesn't really give a damn. Because what's going to happen, and again, go back and look at your charts. And look at what happened to the stock market from 2000 to 2008 through that injection of capital from 2 trillion to 8 trillion. And then look what happened when the Obama administration took the debt from 8 trillion to 18 trillion in 10 years. Look at what happened in those 10 years to the stocks I've just shared with you. And then think about, we're going to do that in the next 18 months. This thing's going to go out of sight because there is no question, Graham. It's going up. The question is, who's going to survive? Who's going to be there? Is it going to be J.C. Penney's? No. Is it going to be the Gap? No. We collectively can figure it out. So, smash the like button, all 20,000 of you. Smash the subscribe button, all 17,000 of you. And let's take this thing collectively to a giant.